So what is the overarching storyline you think of this NBA Finals? What is your bag on this one, Mark? What do you think?
I think a lot of people are going to have their eye on Stephen Curry and the whole thing about is he finally going to win his first Finals MVP? And if the Warriors win, it's hard for me to imagine a scenario that he doesn't. But really, my curiosity getting started is it's all on the Boston side because they have no Finals experience, and I do think it matters. This stage, it just is different. There is nothing like it. Even doing media day yesterday is. It's just a different world that they've stepped into, and when you combine the uncertainty about how they're going to react to the stage, the uncertainty about the health of both Robert Williams and Marcus Smart, and then there's the stylistic adjustment of, Golden State just plays like nobody else with all the motion, with all the offensive randomness. So there's a lot to adjust to, and I really want to see how Boston handles all that because their defense is the best that Golden State will see this season. But again, there's a learning curve here, and we're going to see how fast they cope with it.
So, it's interesting you mentioned Curry first off because of the fact that, Iguodala was an MVP one year, Durant another, and he has yet to win one. And that leads to the legacy conversation for Curry. What is his legacy now, and what would it be? How would it be affected, do you think, by a championship and an MVP in these NBA Finals?
Well,
Mark?
I'm in the camp that actually says that it's a lot of nonsense and it's a lot of talk show fodder, and it doesn't really matter to his legacy. I don't think his legacy is dependent on a Finals MVP trophy. And I was one of the voters the year that Iguodala won in 2015. I have zero remorse about being one of the 7 people who voted for Iguodala in that Finals. He absolutely changed the tenor of that series at 2-1 down to a Cleveland team that at that point had lost Kevin Love and lost Kyrie Irving. The Warriors were teetering, and Iguodala moved into the starting lineup, changed the series, and in my mind, fully deserved that Finals MVP. And the reason people are so hung up on 2015 is because we didn't know in 2015 that Kevin Durant was going to show up 2 years later and win the next 2 Finals MVPs, and now Steph doesn't have them. But he is such a revolutionary as a shooter. This would be championship 4 if the Warriors win. They are dynastic to go to the Finals 5 times in a row and 6 times in 8 years. He's got all the numbers. He's got 2 regular season MVPs. And I consider myself a pretty devoted NBA historian. I am not going to sit there and circle, oh my God, no Finals MVP. And here's the other thing. He legit is so selfless. And his attitude, his leadership, the joy that the guy brings to the job is such a big reason Golden State has had the success they've had. I am convinced he would sign a document right now. He would give the Finals MVP to Clay or whoever else it is if it meant another championship. He wants to win it, yes. He doesn't like this conversation. I'm sure it bothers him on some level, but he'd rather have ring number 4 than Finals MVP number 1.
And then, you talk about Hall of Famers on this team and Clay and Steph and Draymond. What about Kerr? Is he a Hall of Fame coach right now?
Question.
Right?
No question. And I mean, he's already there. I mean, 3 championships in 5 years as a coach. The way the Basketball Hall of Fame works, you either get in as a player or a coach, or Bill Russell is in as both. He would all the rings that Kerr won as one of the best role players we've ever seen. That's not going to help him on the coaching front. But 3 championships is an automatic. He is a Hall of Fame layup as a coach.
And what does he do to make this all work, do you think, Mark?
When you listen to Draymond Green and you hear the buy-in that Kerr has from Draymond Green, that tells you everything you need to know. I mean, I always say this. I stole this from a former GM, this formula, but I love to claim it as my own. When you're coaching in the NBA, the most important thing is your talent. But the second most important thing is buy-in. And if you are a coach and can get buy-in, your X and O acumen doesn't even, that is a distant third. You can always find assistants who are X's and O's mavens to help you fill in those gaps. But buy-in is so crucial, and just Kerrs, the way he relates to players from stars to the eighth, ninth man in the rotation, which is what, Kerr was at various stages of career, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth man. Kerr's ability to relate to all different kinds of players and get that buy-in, there's nothing better. And, by the same token, that's what made Ime Udoka's first season in Boston such a success. He came in there with a very hard edge and very demanding approach for a first-year coach, and look at the buy-in he has from this Celtics team. I mean, they are responding to him better than they did Brad Stevens, and Brad Stevens was a very accomplished coach, and it's made all the difference. So, nothing trumps talent. You have to have, in the NBA, you need great players more than any other sport, because it's only 5-on-5, and one guy can change the equation so much. But the buy-in piece, you just can't overstate it.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.